Mining update, lesson about the industry and job hunt video. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video we are going to go through the prices. We're going to do a lesson about the industry, we're going to talk about how to relocate for a job, and then we're going to do a job hunt video. But first I just want to go through the mantra of the channel. The way to get yourself a mining job is to make yourself an easy win for the employers, and the way you make yourself an easy win for the mining employers is to show them that you know how their mine works. Teaching you how to drive the truck or teaching you how to do the practical sides of the jobs is fairly easy. Nobody really struggles at that. What everybody struggles with when they get to site for the first time is learning enough about mining so they can be left alone on their own. So from an employer's point of view, the way to make yourself an easy win for the employers is to show them that you know how the mine works. So that's the easy way in. So let's go over and have a look at the prices. So the gold price is $3,503 an ounce Australian. It's $2,336 an ounce US. The copper price is $14,229 a tonne Australian, and if we move over to the coal price is still around that $110 an ounce. $110 a tonne mark. It hasn't really moved that much, but like we talked about in last week's video, at that price, you know, everything unfortunately becomes a bit marginal. So hopefully that price will go up in the next few weeks again. Iron ore settling around the $106 a tonne mark. So it's bouncing in between that 120 and 180 that we talked about on the channel, and we continue to talk about on the channel. Unfortunately, iron ore, with the majority of the jobs, it's gone driverless, and it does mean that any of the traineeships that they're offering at the moment, they don't pay a lot of money, guys. So if you want a good paying job, you really need to look at the surface in offsiding or hard rock underground. Hard rock underground's the best place to make the money. There's the most jobs. You'll see that when we come to the job section when we do the video. So let's go over and have a look at our mining map. And this is the map of all the gold mines around the country that are producing, and the copper and the base metal mines as well that are producing for the batteries. So as you can see, there's lots of stuff all over the country, and if you're coming in from overseas, so from New Zealand, you get can come straight across and apply straight away. If you're coming in from Europe or one of the other countries that have got a working holiday visa, then my suggestion is to come to Kalgoorlie. Kalgoorlie is probably the best place to come to because it's got 50 mines within 100 k's of the joint that are all looking for people. And what you must do if you want to get yourself a job is learn how it all works and be ready to go on day one. The biggest problem people have with coming overseas is they get here and then they try and do something about mining. And by trying to do something about mining and learning about it when you get here, you sort of put the cart in front of the horse, unfortunately, and you set yourself back a fair bit. And the other thing is that if you're approaching the employers green, so you don't know anything about mining and you're approaching them, you've got to understand from the employer's point of view, it's going to take 2 or 3 months to get you up to speed. Now, do they really want to employ somebody coming in on a working holiday visa if it's going to take them 3 months to get up to speed and they're only going to have them for 6 months? Probably not. But the whole thing changes dynamics completely if it only takes 3 or 4 weeks to get you up to speed. So if you educate yourself to how it all works and you know what's going on, then that gives you a huge advantage. And the employers, they're hiring people with working holiday visas because they just need bums in seats at the moment. So if you're coming across from the eastern states to Perth or Kalgoorlie, they're the best places to go. Lots of fly and fly out in Perth, lots of live in and drive in, drive out around Kalgoorlie that you can do. But if you're coming in from overseas, I sort of recommend that people bypass Perth because it can take, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks to get a job in and out of Perth with fly and fly out. And the companies that are fly and fly out, to be honest with you, they're probably looking for people that are permanently based in Australia, and they can be a bit more choosy. Whereas if you go to a mining town like Kalgoorlie or Mount Isa in Queensland or Cobar in New South Wales, they just need bums in seats. And that's how people end up getting jobs if you're coming in from overseas. So we had a question on the YouTube channel this week. week about how people should relocate and what you should do. So my recommendation is that if you're coming to Australia from overseas on a working holiday visa, do the training that we've provided, sign up for the 3-step plan, get Jess to sort out your resume for you and all that sort of stuff before you arrive. And then when you arrive, you can actually hit the ground running and go straight to one of these big mining towns and get yourself a job straight away. That's the way to do it. So if you're coming in from overseas, that's my recommendation. So let's have a look at the Wall of Fame page, and these are some of the people you can read about that have come in from overseas. So Paul came from New Zealand, he got a truck driving job. Pretty sure Josh came from New Zealand as well, he got a truck driving job. There's a whole heap of people that have come in from overseas that have got themselves jobs. There's a couple of Canadians in here that you can have a look at. There's people from all over the world. But as long as you can get that, you need a visa that you don't need sponsorship for. None of the mining companies will do sponsorship for any of the crew jobs. They'll do sponsorship for trades and degrees, but there's less and less of that going on as there's more and more people with those skills in the country. But if you're coming in as a working holiday visa and you just want to make some money and get a job, then a job as a nipper or a truck driver or an offsider is perfect for you to make some money in 6 or a 12-month period in a short amount of time. So that's how I'd go about it and do it. Like I said, there's lots of jobs all over the country. It's just a matter of giving the employers what they want. So where are the jobs? If you type underground into Seek, you're going to see all the jobs come up. And if we go through it, it's just one entry-level job after another. So entry-level truck in WA, entry-level truck in WA, underground truck in WA, underground truck in WA, and the nipper in WA, another underground truck job, underground truck job, underground nipper job, entry-level drillers offsider, underground mining roles. They'll be looking for nippers and truck drivers in that job as well. So will KCA, underground truck jobs. And you see these jobs have been up for 20 days. That probably means, in being in the industry for as long as I have, the reason they leave these jobs up is they will have got a whole heap of people apply initially, and they will have hired a few people. And I can tell you, 20 days already, they will have already had failures. That's how many people they go through when people go in not knowing what's going on. And that's why we suggest that you educate yourself before you start to try and get yourself into the industry. Because if you do manage to snag yourself a job and you're going green, unfortunately, everybody turns over more than 50% of those green new starters. But yeah, so they leave the jobs up for a long period of time sometimes just because they end up running through people. So that's an owner-operator. They'll be looking for entry-level truck drivers and nippers. They won't want to be looking for entry-level truck drivers and nippers. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants experienced people because it costs a lot of money to train people up from a start, and they go through so many people. It's just, you might as well go down to the casino and put it all on red. You just funneling through money. So yeah, they don't like that. McMahon's are doing traineeships. Nipper, Swick, entry-level mining job, nationwide. They're looking for people everywhere. Underground operators, truck drivers. There's just work everywhere. And you can just Mount Isa truck drivers. It's all over the country. So that's the underground side of things. When you type surface in, you get a lot of jobs come up, but it's more about offsider jobs than entry-level truck jobs. And the jobs that do come up, they tend to be experienced jobs. So they want people, the production dump truck, excavator, all that sort of stuff, people with experience. So they want all-rounders, so people that have got a lot of experience in mining. Like I've been telling everybody on the channel for a long time, iron ore's pretty much gone driverless with all their truck driving jobs, which means that a lot of people have got a lot of choice of experienced people, and that's why the rates are going down. So, 2 years ago, that rate would have been $45 to $55 an hour, but now it's $37 to $45 purely because there's an oversupply of people. The more people you've got, the lower the price goes. And that's what's going on in shutdown work at the moment as well. There's not a lot of shutdown work on at the moment, so there's a lot of people looking for shutdown work. So the wages are going down. And, I talked about that in a video a few videos ago. If you've got an oversupply of people, it's all supply and demand. If you've got too many people, the wages are going to go down. There's not much you can do about that. So we'll have a look at diamond drillers offsiders. So these are your underground and surface diamond drilling jobs. and you'll see there's lots of stuff all over the country. Like I tell people, if you like camping, then surface diamond drilling or surface drill rig, core and all that sort of stuff, that's probably the way to go. But if you don't like camping and you want a room and all that sort of stuff, then you probably want to look at the underground side of things, because you'll be based in a camp, you'll get your own room, and somebody will cook dinner for you for the night instead of you having to cook dinner. So, but if you like camping, then I know a lot of people that go drill offsiding on the surface, and they go and make a lot of money for doing stuff that they like to do. But if you don't like camping, or if you're like my mother, who thinks camping is a 4-star hotel instead of a 5-star hotel, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you don't want to go. So the last one is fly and fly out utility, and you can see there's a lot. I get utility up there, and you can see again, we talked about this in a video a few videos ago, there's lots of jobs out there, but they're not paying very much. $80,000 a year on a 2-in-1 roster, it's like $26.50 an hour or $27 an hour. It's not a lot. People get into it. There's a lot of people on TikTok telling you that you can make a lot of money being a utility and all that sort of stuff. Yes, the wages go up if you become part-time or casual, or you're doing labour hire, but you don't get any sick leave or any of the full-time perks you get when you're full-time. So just be aware that, you know, if you're looking at a TikTok video and somebody's telling you that they're making $1 squillion, you know, being a utility or a shutdown worker and all that sort of stuff, you know, yeah, at the moment, you know, they might have been one day previously, but at the moment those jobs just aren't paying a real lot. But anyway, bring you over to the training packages that we do. If we come over to the shop, you can have a look at the shop. So the 3-step plan that you can do with Jess. We've got our DIY package, which has got full resume instructions in there, and there's the full work ready where you get help from one of us shift bosses. But the best way to do it is to make yourself an easy win for the mining employers, and we actually got featured in the Australian Mining Review this month, and the title of the article is the mantra that we've got for the page now. It's all about making yourself an easy win for the mining employers, and you can do that using the training. It's the easiest way to do. It teaches you how the mine works from top to bottom and everything that they want you to know. And when you can actually walk into an interview and actually have a proper conversation with the foreman in the interview about how it all works and what you're going to be expected to do on site, then it just makes it so much easier for you to get that job. And that's how all these people on the Wall of Fame page got their job. You can read it in all their comments. They all say the same thing. The reason that I got a job was because I educated myself and I could talk to the employer about how it all works. But anyway, I hope you found that information helpful. And like I said, the mantra for the channel is to make yourself an easy win for the employers. Lots of work out there with the underground side of things. As you see, you know, pretty much the whole first page is just full of entry-level truck and nipper jobs. So if you want to get into the industry, that's the way to go. It's where the money is. It's where the jobs are. All you need to do is educate yourself, and yeah, you can get into the door pretty easily. So I hope you found that information helpful, and if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel and share this information around. Thanks.